Welcome back. We are the Non-Group Fighters. I'm G,
And I'm Ethan.
and today we're going to be doing a follow-up to our discussion video of our house rule. So there's some necessary context from our last video, so if you haven't seen it, go and check that out. But basically, we've been playing the game wrong, and we have been counting it as playing with a house rule. So we made a video explaining our house rule because we do use it in our videos, or we have used it in our videos. To be completely honest, we were expecting a little bit of backlash, a little bit of like, actually, this is not how Spirit Island's meant to be played. But we weren't expecting a unanimous disappointment with our decision.
And this wasn't just with the most vocal viewers. It seemed like this was a sentiment that almost everyone agreed with, regardless of how positive or angrily they were writing their comments. We did get a good variety of both, and even our fellow content creators agreed with that sentiment.
There were 2 points that you guys brought up that encouraged me and Ethan to kind of step back and reevaluate our decision. The first one is content creator responsibility. It's one thing if we're just playing with our friends and we're using this house rule to just make it a little bit easier to play, and that's just fun, right? But the thing is, we're making videos not just of our gameplay, but also of our opinions and as well as guides for certain spirits on how to play. Newer players might come to our videos and think that the way that we're playing is correct. So our discussion video was an attempt to remedy that and just put it out there that in the front, hey, we're not playing the game rules as written. But in hindsight, if we're teaching people how to play the game with certain spirits and trying to talk about the game on like a design level, then it's probably not a good idea for us to be using a house rule for these purposes.
The other thing that encouraged us to come here and talk about this was that in our original discussion video, we were selling our house rule as just this small little change that didn't affect too much. But in reality, after some trial and error and after reading all of the community sentiment, it seems like this small change to the rule is actually a lot bigger than we had anticipated at the time. More or less, we were underselling how much the house rule affects the game. In the last couple dozen games, we've been noticing this trend that we didn't fully realize until we played rules as written in the last couple games. And we like to call it the blight curve.
The blight curve is a phenomenon that we found that has to do with the progression of the blight on the island throughout the game. Basically what we noticed was that we don't want to stay in Healthy Island forever, because it makes it harder to close out the game. There are events with Healthy Island that keep adding more and more towns and explorers to the board, making it hard to close out the game. And also the Blighted Island effects have the potential to make the game easier to close out. Like, for example, making every town or city have -1 HP. Obviously, you don't want to go to Blighted Island right away, but you do want to get there eventually, probably before, like, Stage 3 invaders. So this is something that we were noticing in some of our earlier games, and then it wasn't until this past week that we were playing without our house rule that we noticed, like, oh, not playing rules as written has actually made the game straight up different with how Blight is treated. So, for these 2 reasons, we have decided that going forward, we're going to be playing the game rules as written.
That being said, we still support people who play with their own house rules, but as content creators, we felt it was more responsible and easier to connect with our audience if we played without it. We will be relearning the game for a good chunk of time.
Yeah.
So expect more losses, expect slightly lower difficulty games, slightly less complex games with the spirit picks as we adjust to the new tempo of the game, and we expect to run into a lot more misplays that we would like to diminish as much as possible for the sake of our recordings and our streams. We promise this isn't all talk. Keen-eyed viewers will notice that in our last stream and our last gameplay video, we had actually been playing rules as written. And to make sure that people who are seeing our older videos don't get confused, we will be going back and labeling all videos with a house rule tag and explaining what that is in the description. And future videos will not have that tag.
Lastly, thank you for speaking up. The fact that so many people were vocal about this, and civil too, it goes to show just how passionate and how welcoming this community is. For the last year, we've had pretty much all positive experiences, and this was probably the most shakiest one, but that's because it was our fault. And going forward, we want to live up to your guys' expectations. So thank you again, and we hope that you'll stick around and, you know, maybe backseat us a little bit and tell us what we could do better now that we're playing the same game, you know?
Yeah. I think you guys will be happy with what's in store for the future of this channel. Thanks for sticking with us for this long. Hopefully, you guys will give us a second shot to provide base game videos for you. And I hope you join us on this journey as we relearn the game again.
For the third time now? Yeah.
Third time. Yep.
All right. See you next week.
See you in the next one.